Yes, people, welcome back. Welcome back. Views from the Skywalk, episode 14. Listen, this has been, I said this before to you guys, this has been the maddest 24 hours, I think, as a Spurs fan. I wasn't old enough to remember what happened in 1992, but yeah, man, this is pretty mad. How are you guys feeling?
There's a lot going on right now, isn't it? Like I said to you, man, before we went live, the Jose Mourinho news has almost been swept under the rug with all the Super League talk.
Yeah, it's crazy. My head's spinning. It's like I've been in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson. It's literally punch after punch and just knockout blow after knockout blow. And you know, the Super League basically news that came through last night. No one really knew what was going on. And then today, Jose Mourinho getting sacked. And like you said, Callum, it's like it got swept under the carpet. It's such a big thing, especially to happen 6 days before a cup final. But yet it's almost secondary to what's been going on. It's just mad. I can't get my head around this last 24 hours. It's crazy.
But yeah, I reckon we'll talk more about the Super League and that in about 20 minutes or so when Dutch comes on, obviously Man City fan. But for now, we still got it seems almost pointless now, but we still got to discuss the Everton game. Forget the Everton game. We might as well just talk about Jose because
do you know what? Yeah, let's just talk about the game real quick. Obviously, it was apparent. I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember when they showed the players before they walked out onto the pitch, before the match even started. I remember I was looking at them and I was saying to my friends in my group chat, I was like, look at the face of all of those players. They all look defeated. They look spineless. They look gutless. They look like they're about to go on that pitch and they're going to lose that game. Yeah. It was just apparent from the get-go that there's something categorically wrong at this club, whether it's the manager, whether it's, conflict between the players, there's something wrong there. And it showed on the pitch. Yet again, nothing. Like, I can understand going free at the back, but what I can't understand is I can't understand when you need to change it up in the first half. In the second half when the game's gone against us, you take off Reguilon, you bring on Lucas Moura, and you stick with a three at the back. I don't get it. If you're chasing the game, you go for it. I don't understand why you wouldn't take one of the centre backs off, take off Dyer for Moura, go for it at the back, and stick Lucas Moura higher at the pitch where he hasn't got defensive duties. Certain things.
Well, Reggie's been shocking recently.
Oh my God.
He's been a shadow of what we first saw from him when he signed.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's like, is it because of Jose and he's been shackled and he's been told he can't play going forward and he has to be more defensive? And obviously defensively, that's not really his game, innit? He's more of an attacking wing back. But we're not seeing that attacking play. We're seeing him lose the ball. He's clumsy, keeps falling over. He's basically Musa Sissoko at left back. It's just he's been awful recently. And I mean, if it wasn't for two mistakes from Everton, but also 2 moments of brilliance from Kane, like, you give that guy a chance, he's finishing it, innit? If it wasn't for Kane being such a clinical striker, we would have got beaten. And we deserved to get beat, if I'm being honest as well. We were just lucky that we got a gunman in Harry Kane. You give him a chance, he's going to score it.
Listen, James Rodriguez and Richarlison, they could have scored a goal each.
The thing is, Richarlison's not even a baller. Let's be honest. The man,
shit.
Richarlison, shit. He's dead.
How many times? How many times do we make these average footballers look good? I'm sick to death of these gutless players. Yeah, and listen. Yes, big up Tanya. Always tuning in. Listen, yeah. I'm sick. Listen, let me talk about the goals now, yeah. So, first goal, Reguilon, absolute idiot. Like, people are saying it's not a penalty. First of all, James Rodriguez got no clue where Reguilon is because he's looking forward. Reguilon comes in and clatters him from the back. The guy goes down. He's only gone down because there's been contact there. So there's not even a debate. Second goal, Eric Dyer, first mistake, hoofing the ball up the field. when you've got two defenders next to you with no pressure, you've got a goalkeeper there. All you do is simple, chest it down straight to the keeper. He hoofs it away, puts the ball into a dangerous area. Then what happens is Bernard takes a shit touch, and as he's trying to recover and get to the ball, he's running forward now, right? There's acres of space behind Dyer. You know he's gonna not Bernard, Seamus Coleman. You know who Seamus Coleman is. He's gonna try.
He's whipping that in. Yeah, he's whipping that in.
He's gonna use your pace, and you can see the way he's running. Dyer again. The ball goes past him into Richarlison. The guy ball watches and then turns. By the time you've done that, it's too late. He's gone. Yeah, that's a mistake from Dyer. Another mistake from Dyer. I've actually watched this so closely now because I'm trying to work out what the problem is at this club. If Eric Dyer, when the ball came in and went past his leg, it went about that far away from his shin. If you actually try, instead of being a bone-idle twat, right? If you actually try and make a chat and put your leg out to stop the cross, I guarantee you stop the cross. At least try. There was no attempt whatsoever to try and stop that ball coming in. Once the balls come in, we can look at Alderweireld and Aurier and say they weren't tight enough to Richarlison. But at the end of the day, it's a fantastic finish, right? You got to hold your hands up to that. But you stop it at the source, and it's the same players week in, week out. And from what I heard, by the way, Jose was gone on Friday.
Well,
wow, really?
Turns up against us.
You what? Sorry, who turns up?
Sigurdsson.
Yeah, Siggy.
When does Sigurdsson ever turn up in the Premier League? Yes, okay, maybe he has an odd few games here and there. But it's this, listen, I'm sick and tired of making these average players just coming up against James Rodriguez. Listen, he's been missing for the last couple months, turns up against us. Everyone fancies, do you know what? It's a mentality thing. Everyone comes up against Spurs and fancies their chances against us. They come up against...
Remember the rumours that man was having a sex change? No,
what? Who's it?
Rodriguez. It's probably just rumours, but there was.
Oh wow!
We are such a banter club. Wait, we're such a banter club, yeah. That guy could go have a sex change, come back, and still beat us.
100 goals.
Stop
that
it.
is what's up.
We made James look good though. James was balling on Friday. Man was doing no look passes and do you know what I mean? Just silky on the ball. We gave him so much time and space. He was taking the piss out of us.
Bro, Ty's talking about happiest he must have been. Listen, big man. After today, I don't want to hear nothing, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about Jose, bro.
Man's popping his jabs.
You know why Ty's saying that?
It's a bougie thing today, bro. Listen. Good vibe.
Oh, man. I save me a glass, man. I need a glass of that still.
I'm on a sober thing, so obviously I got my
Oh man.
He's gone, bro. He's gone.
You know what? Yeah.
You got Tanya as well, yeah, because there's no champagne in the yard. It's a prosecco thing. I'm not sure prosecco, innit? Big one.
Man's having a toast for Jose. Yeah, this is too funny. But you know what? Yeah. Listen, like I said, Jose, you don't help yourself. Listen, the players don't make it easy for him, and I hold my hands up to that. Now, the fact that he's gone, it worries me now because Ryan Mason, with all due respect, I don't think he has the credentials to manage this club. Listen, we're not a club where you come in and make your name in football anymore. We're not that club anymore. Regardless of what people think, we're not that club anymore. Ryan Mason needs to go prove himself elsewhere, but I'll back him anyway, innit? But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, are they going to give these players like Harry Winks and Dele Alli second chance? Because if that's the case, then I don't want Ryan Mason.
But I think he will.
He will. Yeah, Dele Alli will definitely come back into the squad. No doubt. When I say back into the squad, I mean back into the frame. He'll be playing. I'm not sure about Winks. I hope not. But I'll probably see him play Winks over Sissoko. So yeah, he will get more minutes. No doubt about that.
Do you know what I'm worried? Do you know what I'm worried about with this is, yeah, Ryan Mason has got favourites in this squad because he was all pally.
Exactly.
He was all pally with a lot of these. I don't want that. This is why I want someone different, someone experienced.
You know what? I'm not against Ryan Mason managing us to the end of the season because it can only get better than what Jose was doing. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure he'll play attacking football. He'll try and play on the front foot. He'll try and appease his friends so they get game. I'm sure want to play for him over playing for Jose. The atmosphere around the training ground will definitely be better. Like you said, Ash, when they were lining up to come out on Friday, you could see already that they didn't want to be there. Do you know what I mean? You could see it already. So yeah, obviously we don't know. He's an unproven entity, but it's a gamble, but it's definitely better than having Jose in right now. Jose was washed.
At this point, I feel like we've got nothing to lose, and absolutely nothing to lose, especially if the Super League does go ahead. I mean, we wouldn't have finished top 4 anyway. So let's just see what Mason can do. And bro, my first experience with Ryan Mason, I think it might even have been his debut. He was playing Nottingham Forest in the cup. I was at the Lane. I think at this point we was either losing 1-0 or we was drawing 1-0. And Mason's come on for his debut. I'm thinking, bro, who's this guy? His first touch of the ball, he was down the wing. Man's crossed it. It's gone out for a throw. It's gone out for a throw. Second time he's got the ball in the same position, crossed it. It's hit the first man, come back to him. He's crossed it again. It's gone for a goal kick. I said, who is this guy? Why is he playing? His third touch now, he's about 30 yards out. The ball's come to him and you can tell he's going to shoot. I'm there shouting, don't shoot, big man, don't shoot. It's gone top bins. Bro, I've never said it like that for a while. Ryan Mason, I back you, big man. I believe you.
Do you know what?
I've done it once, I ain't doing it again. He's lifting that parabel for us.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'd love to see Ledley King. Wait, what's happening with Ledley King, by the way?
I don't know. That's a good point. That is a good point.
There's no way that
I've not heard anything about King. I've heard Ryan Mason and Chris Powell. That's all I'm hearing.
But do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, with all due respect, the way our defense is looking. Listen, I'm not complaining if he's not there.
Oh no, that's heartless, man. That's heartless.
No, but listen, I'm fed up. Like, can people blame me for wanting to change at this club? Listen, like, I look at the defense, yeah, and I look at the amount of combinations we've had this season. Nothing seems to be working. So listen, I'm all for change right now. Whether it's manager, players, bring it on. Yeah, manager for me. I do feel he's been hard done by. I honestly do, but I just don't feel that he helped himself. I felt that he had to go. Yes, wasn't good enough. Let's be honest. With the players that he had, not good enough. Style of football, not good enough. I do think it's harsh before a cup final. I thought at least give the guy the cup final. But a part of me, and I said this before earlier on Clubhouse today, people sit here and say Jose serial winner, this, and that. But I think everyone is just kind of stuck to the guy's past. Look at the context of the way that we are playing this season. Look at the gutless after gutless performances in the last 2 months. Look at the players' attitude. Look at how deflated they look. I'm confident that with him as manager, we wouldn't have won that cup final. We would have got an absolute pamming. So maybe the best thing is a little new manager bounce before the final. And listen,
Patrick, before you went live, this is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
It's fans of other clubs that think, no, you should have kept him for the final. Jose wins trophies. But like Ash said, you look at the context of the season. It's not, Jose wouldn't have saved us and won that game. But with regards to Ryan Mason, can he do it? I don't know. I feel like it's either we win that final or we get slapped. There's no in between.
No in between, bro.
There's no 2-1, 1-0. We either win or we get slapped.
And you know one thing I can guarantee, yeah? I can guarantee we will come out and show some more fight, some more cojones, some more kind of chemistry in the team. Because listen, let's not be honest. I've read all the reports from the Athletic this morning. I read every single one of them, right? And every single one of them has said, hold on, there is a clear divide between the players, and apparently the players were not keen on João Sacramento.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I like the look of him. Obviously, it's
that's it. I like the look of him. He seemed like he had a bit about him, but to be fair, we didn't really know too much.
Like I said, we don't. So it said the dressing room. This is from the Athletic, by the way. A dressing room source on Jose Mourinho. He has sucked the culture out of the club and destroyed what Spurs have stood for years. People will sit here and argue and say, what have we stood for over the years? We've won fuck all. But I understand that. Excuse my language. I understand that. But at the end of the day, there's more to the atmosphere than just winning. There's togetherness in the squad. And from what I've heard, it was a specific kind of bad relationship with the French players in our squad. And from what I'm hearing is the rest of the squad were actually close to those players. So it kind of created a divide. And listen, look at the people that gave Jose a tribute. Dane Scarlett, Levy, Harry Kane, Højbjerg, Son, Lucas Moura. These are the same players.
And Eric Dyer. Don't forget, Eric Dyer gave him a...
Forget about him. You know, I mentioned Højbjerg. Forget about Eric Dyer. I don't give a shit about him. Yeah. These are the same players that we came on here weeks ago and said that they're still behind Jose.
Yeah, we can see it.
Where's everyone else? Everyone else ain't saying shit. Because why? They probably wanted him gone.
I know Dyer saw my tweet, by the way. He's ducking the challenge. He's ducking the challenge, bro.
And also on The Athletic, they reported that the players knew that let me put it in our kind of context, that Daniel Levy was basically obsessed with the fact that he appointed Jose. Shock. Yeah. Obsessed with the fact that he appointed Jose. And they were so close to each other to the point where Jose was even telling him about lineups and team selections that he was going for days before the game. And the players were just kind of even I'd be thinking like, it just makes me sick.
Oh, but you know, see when we watch the documentary there and you look at the way Levy looks at Jose and the way he talks to him, you could tell man's in awe of Jose.
He's in awe.
That's not the energy you're meant to give off when
no.
That's your boss and you're putting him on a pedestal.
Let me tell you why Chelsea, I hate to say it, but they are serial winners.
Abramovich, ruthless.
Roman Abramovich, the guy's ruthless. From top to bottom, his whole ethics is win at all costs. And if you don't do that, you are gone. As a player, gone. As a manager, you're gone. There is no pally-pally relationships. He sacked Chelsea's arguably their greatest ever player. That is a winning mentality. Their expectations at Chelsea Football Club, and I won't be surprised if Roman tells the players this, your expectations are to win at all costs. When you see your chairman getting all pally-pally with the manager, what kind of message does that send out?
Bro, he should have walked after we lost embarrassingly to Arsenal, and then we basically bombed out of the Europa, which again was super embarrassing after being 2-0 up. He should have definitely been sacked sooner. Exactly what I was about to say. He should have been sacked after the Zagreb game. Should have been sacked on the plane.
100%.
There's no way he should have made it this far. And if it wasn't for the thing is, rival fans are saying, we should have kept Jose for the cup final and yada, yada, yada. But if it wasn't for that cup final, I feel Jose would have been sacked ages ago. Daniel Levy held on to that, hoping things would change, but they haven't. They've got worse and he had to pull the plug. So, yeah, I'm surprised. I can't lie. I thought he'd get sacked in the summer. I didn't think Levy would be ruthless enough to do it now with the cup final pending, considering how much he loves Jose. But it's a good thing, in my opinion. He had to go.
Yeah, I can't sit here and lie.
I think it's the injection of cash from the Super League. Man's got the check sorted. He said, "You know what? I got that 30 mil to sack him."
Do you know what I heard, yeah? I heard it had nothing to do with the Super League in terms of apparent. There's this whole thing on Twitter saying that Jose refused to take the players out of training.
Yeah. I'm saying financially, he's got the money now.
Yeah, I think financially it kind of made sense, and from what I've heard from Paul O'Keefe tweeted earlier, Jose is on garden leave, so it's not an upfront payment. It's monthly payments. But who knows? I mean, things might change if Jose gets another. Listen, I can't see Jose getting another job in the Premier League in a top 6 club. See it.
No way. He's done now. He's done. I think he's done domestically. He's gonna have to manage.
Do you know what I hate to say it, yeah, but I remember what happened with Fabio Capello, serial winner, right? Failed to adapt to the modern game, and ended up going into international management. And for me, the worst England manager I've seen in my lifetime. The football was absolutely abysmal. Yeah, I just look at Jose and think, you're Fabio Capello 2.0.
Yeah, he's done. He's done domestically. He'll probably end up managing Portugal or someone who's, I mean, not like a big wig, not a massive international club, but a club on the next tier down. And he's going to stink up the place there as well. He hasn't adapted to the modern game, and he hasn't adapted to the players as well and how to manage them. You still got to be able to manage these players, man. You still got to be able to put your arm around them. You got to be able to talk their language, and he doesn't translate to today's game. Yeah, you could bully a Terry, a Lampard, Carvalho, had these guys run through a brick wall for you. It doesn't work like that today.
100%, man. And one thing I wanted to point out is just touching on that is all these players that Jose has had a love fest with. These are serial winners. Esteban Cambiasso, Javier Zanetti, Chivu, Lucio, one of the greatest Brazilian defenders I've ever seen. Ashley Cole, John Terry. These guys have completely different personality. Yes, Daps.
You dropped me in like that, yeah? Damn, I'm here all chilling and you just dropped me in like that. Legs out and all sorts.
Do you know what, yeah, just to carry on what I was saying before we quickly move on, is he's had these personalities that are serial winners, right? And he said himself, he said 23-year-olds back then, they were men, and he said 24-year-olds right now are little brats. So the fact that you know that, I expect you to change your management style.
Exactly that.
Yes, listen, yes. And I agree. Yes, these players are grown adults, and yes, they should face criticism. But do that behind closed doors. Don't come out and be dragging the players all over the media and making stupid decisions mid game. It just didn't help his cause. But listen, I can't lie. When I got that news, I was happy, man.
Bro, I don't want to talk about this terrorist no more, bro. He's in the past. The unsuccessful time at Spurs. He's done. I don't want to think about him. He can do his thing, punditry, or get a national team job, as long as it's away from N17.
Do you know what? He's a good punter, though.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. You know what? I've got a question for you now. Now that he's gone, yeah. What was he brought in for? Honestly, like now, because
to win trophies. That was it. To win trophies.
Guys, I think he was brought in for a bigger reason than that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, when I watched that Amazon program, yeah, they seem connected, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
did he bring
posters of him on his wall? That's how connected they are.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a fan.
And you know, there's a comment here from Sebastian. Yeah, this is a good point, by the way. Surely that's our recruitment then. Those personalities are out there. We just didn't sign them. We signed the Levy Fanny project, inexperienced even, and a clown. My man called him Dorothy, you know. No, do you know what?
Yeah, Dorothy. Was that a typo? Or did he mean that?
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I agree to Sebastian's point in terms of the recruitment has been piss poor, but I question, and I agree with Jose. I don't see these personalities out there anymore. A lot of these football players are too soft. They're boohoo models, and they've got all these kind of other things going on outside football. I just don't see, like, Esteban Cambiasso, Zanetti, Chivu, Lucio. Where are these defenders in world football? Van Dijk is probably one of the ones I can think of. I can't.
Ruben Diaz is one of them, mate.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Perhaps you took the words out of my mouth. We had Ruben Diaz.
Okay,
we were talking before.
You look at Chelsea's team, which in my opinion are going to be title challengers next season.
Definitely agree with you.
Rudiger, Christiansen, Zuma. Who is the other one? Rudiger, Christian, Zuma. Are these players the same kind of serial winning mentality? No, they're not.
No,
but they're still performing to a level where they're hardly conceding any goals. Man City, Ruben Diaz is one of them, right? John Stones is not one of those.
No, he's not.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. At the same time, you're picking out, if you look at it, you're picking out like the bests from an era. Like at the same time, of course, not every single defender is going to be one of the best. I do get where you're coming from, though, because I don't even know if you'd find them in Italy at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's some in Italy. Milan Skriniar is probably one of them. There are out there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they are out there in abundance as they were all those years ago.
It's hard as well though because the game's changed. The game has changed, so those type of defenders you're not going to hear about as much because the game's changed so much.
You see, in terms of the Super League, it's made a lot of the things behind the scenes and decisions Daniel Levy's made make more sense in terms of splashing out in the stadium. It didn't seem like there was that much pressure on Jose. And who knows we're getting European football regardless next season.
And this is what I feel. I feel Jose was coming, like Sebastian said in one of his comments.
Build a brand, isn't it?
It's used to build a brand, and maybe someone mentioned the point of selling the club. Like everyone has a business plan, right? You come in, you buy a club for a certain amount. You do all these things outside, as in you buy all the real estate around the ground in the name of Tottenham Hotspur to boost the value.
Yep.
You then get the new stadium. You then get players like Kane to sign a new contract. You then go to Jose Mourinho.
Assets. You build up your assets.
You build up the club to a level where it's at the center of attention of world football. Like it or not. When Jose Mourinho came to Tottenham, that was one of the biggest managerial in recent years. So I think so. But listen,
I think our Instagram profile went up by about 2 million followers within a couple of days of Jose signing because Jose's blockbuster. Even if if the football's not great, he's a blockbuster character. He is that guy.
Yeah, so of course he is. The thing is, that thing you put in the group, the Forbes list. I was shocked at how high Tottenham are. Like,
let me see how high we are again. I think
you're high, man. You're high for a team. I don't want to come on here and you think I'm sending shots, but for a team that ultimately haven't won anything, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were 8th last year, and I think we're 9th or 10th this year. So it just goes to show.
Towards Levy and what he's done footballing wise, this man is a fantastic businessman.
Yeah,
he said, bro. Like,
do you know what?
Made in terms of Jose, the documentary, even bringing Bale back. In terms of building a brand, all of them decisions make so much sense now.
But at the end of the day, building the brand is all great. But if I don't see success on a pitch,
us fans, that's what we want primarily.
Exactly. That's what we want.
I don't care about the profit we man make. I don't care about whether we're considered a European super team like the others that are in the competition with us. I want success on the pitch. And I don't think we're going to bring it for us.
And now these next 5 years are crucial, because you can't have banners in the stadium that say the game is about glory, because your actions don't show that. Go out there and prove that the game is about glory, because now's the chance. Listen, I understand the next 1 to 2 years might be a little bit difficult. I understand that, but in the next 2 to 5 years, I want to see significant changes.
That's what I was going to say, right? So when you look at it, right, Levy's a good businessman, and I think we all know Levy's long term because Levy's been out around Tottenham for as long as I can remember, to be honest, right? So we know he's long term, So how about that? Actually, he's known about this for a minute, right? He's got you in there now. Credit to him, how he's got you in there, I do not know, but he's got you in there, right? Now you're going to start to get rich, right? Maybe now he'll start to spend that money, right? And then that will bring you success. It's not like other teams that, not remove Chelsea and City from it. And if we look at United, Arsenal, right? They've got money, right? So they've got money and they still don't care about whether they qualify for the Champions League or not. We've seen it, right? So now that they're in a tournament where they qualify every year, no matter what, right? What makes Arsenal fans think they're now going to start trying to spend money?
That's what
they didn't spend money when they had to spend money to qualify. Now they don't have to spend money to qualify. Arsenal fans think they're going to spend money. At least with Tottenham, you could say you have spent some money when you haven't really had the money that Arsenal had. So now you're there. That might be Levy's plan. Now you've got that money to push on.
Sebastian said the same thing. He goes, Super League will not bring us success on the pitch. It will be 100% opposite. No incentive to invest in team now. Here's one thing I think is different, Dabs, Stan Kroenke does not give a monkey's about Arsenal.
He doesn't.
He cares about the LA Rams, right? One thing I can say is that Daniel Levy is a Tottenham fan, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, he has raised. Us fans have been concerned over the last couple of years, and we hurl abuse at him. But the fact of the matter is, in the last 10 years, he's been saving up money for the stadium. So, I do understand that. I genuinely do. I don't understand why the owners couldn't fork out money from their own pockets, maybe just a few times, yeah, because I know the industry that Joe Lewis is in, yeah, I'm in a similar industry. There is no reason as to why, especially in the 16-17 season, we couldn't sign at least one player. I can't excuse that, but I can understand the whole movement to the stadium, right? But going forward now, Levy is a Spurs fan. He's got Tottenham to this level, yeah? So I don't want to sit here and say we're doomed for the future, because I honestly think we've got a bright future as a club. I honestly do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Whereas with Arsenal, they've had money and not spent it, right? With you, man, you've been doing the stadium, you've been doing all of this, so you had reasons not to spend, right? And actually, you've been qualifying. The other reason, you lot have been qualifying for the Champions League, right? Arsenal haven't been. So they should have been spending that money they already had. They didn't.
Yeah.
So why are they going to start spending now when they qualify naturally? If we go into the Super League, not going to mean they're going to start spending it. More profit for America. But with you lot, now your owners are going to be bringing money in. So now your owners might be like, well, we like this club. We want this club. So I think there's more chance of you lot spending than there is Arsenal.
But the thing is, it depends when and where we spend it, though, because if this goes ahead in August like it's meant to,
not going to happen.
Arsenal, we're going to be the whipping boys of that league. We're in the Super League.
We are going to get absolutely.
We're not super.
It's not happening in August. There's not a chance it's going ahead in August. Super League, they should put us in dog shit league, because that's
nah, stop it. No.
I mean, that's where we are right now, right? And listen, Super League sounds great, yeah. And it might be great in 3 to 5 years, but let's say, for example, we go to the Super League next season with okay, maybe let's say, argument's sake, 3 or 4 new signings. We're still going to get absolutely panned.
It depends on who we get in as a manager. It really does, and it depends what signings we get in. Because I think with 3 to 4 good quality signings, it will make such a difference. Because we also have to take ourselves out of the context of what's been going on this season. You know, Jose is like an illusionist. He comes in and he downplays the squad. He makes everyone look crap. It's basically, the team's so crap. I'm performing miracles. They're so bad. I'm so good. We ain't as bad as Jose's made us out to be. Yes, we're not on the level of your Man City and your Chelseas and even maybe Liverpool. I know they're not having a good season, but we're not as bad as Jose's made us out to be. Yeah. So I do honestly think with a few good signings, we can be back where we need to be when we're playing to our strengths as well. We're trying to play defensive football, contain teams, but we have crap defenders. We're not playing to our attacking strengths. We're not moving the ball through the middle. There's no build-up play anymore. There's no width to our team. I mean, we're playing back to a keeper who can't distribute the ball. There's so many. I could go on all day. Do you know what I mean?
So, you know how I describe it? I describe it as spineless. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, there you go.
We're talking about we need to make 3 or 4 new signings. My biggest worry is the fact that Jose's left and we've got a new manager coming in. A lot of this dead weight in our club are going to be feeling like the new manager might give me a chance. Winks is so cold. These men are probably going to stay in.
This is my worst.
That's where Levy needs to be as ruthless as he is with the manager and get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? We can't keep holding on to them. So we'll see what Levy's really about now. If he's just about changing the manager but never improving the squad, then we'll basically be back to square one. So let's see what Levy does. He needs to actually invest in the squad as well as the manager.
But the thing is, right, when you talk about when you're saying you're not as bad as you make out and whatever, as Jose makes out, 100%, like you lot will be able to tell me over the last 5 years, how many times have Tottenham qualified for the Champions League?
Exactly. Up until last year, we'd always qualified. So that's okay. Point. Yeah.
Until November, December this year, yeah? Were you in the title race? Right.
Yeah.
If we go back 2 years ago, was it the same thing? Yeah. So therefore, okay, there are flaws that mean that you drop off. However, you're there till a certain period. So you are not, like, when you say you're not as bad as 100%, you're not. The facts, it's facts, it's on paper. Like, it's facts. You beat City. It is on paper that you're not that bad. Like, honestly, it's not. It's,
like Sebastian says here, yeah. He goes, not to back Jose, but I don't think our players are as bad as he says. I fully agree with that. I do agree that a lot of them are just bone idle and just terrible. But I don't think a lot of them are as bad as they have been looking.
It's what he does. It's what Jose does. He comes in. He's marmite with everything. He uses it to get what he wants and make himself look better. He'll
it's a mental thing. Look, it's a mental thing. When this guy gets into your head, it becomes a mental block. And I don't want to make excuses for some of these players, but some of the good players that we have, when someone gets into your head, it becomes a mental block. It's like that teacher at school that you never liked. So you always go into the lesson thinking, oh, I can't be bothered for this now. This is what these guys are doing in training sessions. They're waking up in the morning, can't be bothered for this. Waking up on match day, you can see it in their faces. They don't have any. When they're coming on the pitch to Everton, they look completely deflated from it.
Bro, all you got to do is look at Luke Shaw at Man United right now. He's probably the best left back in the league. That guy was a bum under Jose. He was awful. And even Paul Pogba, I'm not saying Paul Pogba was rubbish, but if you look at how Paul Pogba's playing now compared to how he was playing under Jose, even Rashford as well, you can kind of see that, yes, our squad has deficiencies, but these guys are nowhere near as bad as Jose's made them out to be or has sold them to the media.
You know what, as well as demotivating the players, man's affected our fan base as well. Even our fans that don't like Jose, man subconsciously impacted their opinions. The amount of people I've seen on Twitter that are trying to tell me Ndombele is not good enough for our club. Are you stupid? I know he's not been at his best.
I know, crazy.
Our club. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Do you know what is with Ndombele? And I'll tell you all my thoughts on this. I don't know if it's manager, and it could be manager. But when I watch him, I question his mentality. I look at him and I think, do you really want to be at this football club? Do you want to fight? Are you here? Are you here for the vibes? What are you here for? I look at his performances on the pitch and I look at him and I say, I want to see more of a fight from you. I know you've got the talent. I know he's got an abundance of talent, right? And this is undeniable. He's got an abundance of talent. But I question his mentality. Now, this could all change with a new manager. And I'm with
the Super League because see here we're talking about a couple of weeks ago. We're talking about Kane needs to be playing Champions League football. If we're not in the Champions League, Kane shouldn't be here because he needs to be playing against the best teams in the world. Regardless of where we finish, if Kane stays at Spurs, he's going to be playing against the best teams in the world.
You know what? Listen,
I mean that Kane might not leave. All of these players, they're playing Champions League football regardless every year now.
You know what? You see this mentality thing, yeah? One thing that let's take Pogba as a prime example. One thing I've seen this season with Pogba, yeah, is sometimes, like when you don't think that you're on to win anything, your mentality can drop, right? But look at Pogba in January, when Man United all of a sudden looked like they were in the title race. Pogba came alive because that real Pogba mentality, all of a sudden when he thought. So these players, like probably one of your biggest issues before December, your players thought you were in the title race. The minute all of a sudden that dropped off for whatever reason, slightly for Jose, I will blame him. I'm sorry, I will blame him. He's got a lot, not everything, but he's got a lot of blame because he lost the dressing room, right? So mentality dipped. Like players don't turn. I don't want to use the whole. What's the one everyone uses about Trent? The whole form and class and that stuff. But it's true. Like you can't be that good and then all of a sudden lose it all. Like,
no, in my opinion, there ain't no title race in January. The season don't end.
Nah, it was. We scraped some results, but do you know what? Yeah, like Tanya said, we would have been comfortably in the top 4 if we had beat the teams that we dropped points against. Those draws against Wolves, those draws against Fulham,
West Ham.
All these games, If we had approached the game in the right way, we would listen. We can sit here and say at the beginning of the season, Spurs should never have made top 4. Cool. But when you look at the context of the season and how we perform, it's not even just dropping points in those games. It's how we performed from winning positions.
Yeah,
we should be comfortably in the top 4. We should be there,
and that's why I say this team's not as bad as Jose's made it out to be, because we've taken the lead in so many games. We've played decent until we score, and then Jose's tactics revert in, and he was dropped back. He makes us sit deep. He makes us do things that these guys aren't used to doing. Just let us play football. Yeah, we're going to win some games. We're going to lose some games, but it won't be how we were playing basically this whole season, where we're dropping points, letting teams like Fulham and Crystal Palace put pressure on us like for 45 minutes. It's mental.
Do you know what? The way that West Brom played against us at the away fixture, I have not seen West Brom play against any other team like that in the Premier League. It is absolutely embarrassing. It was embarrassing the way that they was playing us off the park. Embarrassing. And like you said, you can't defend. And you know, I want to go back to something Jose said in the Arsenal game, right? When we beat them 2-0, he said something along the lines of, at halftime, I told the guys to go out. He said something along the lines of, the game was finished. I told the guys to go out there and just hold up and protect what we have. That says it all. That's
mental. Put them to the sword. We were 2-0 up and their heads were gone. Because
the thing is, you do that, right? When you're 2-0 up, sit back, they score a goal, it's 2-1. Then the entire game is changed.
Yeah, literally. It's mad. It's not the you can't play football like that anymore. And it's not like we've not got beasts in defense. We haven't got a brick wall defensive unit like he used to have with Inter Milan or Chelsea, where he can afford to do that. You know, he could score a goal and see out a game. We can't do that. And the Premier League isn't like that as well these days. It's not like that.
The one thing I wanted to say, just to give. Sorry, Ash. Sorry, Callum. Say that again, bro. Say that again.
Even though Jose's gone, we're still going to be here talking about it for weeks, man. Still lingering.
You know what? One thing I wanted to say, yeah, which I've rated with Tottenham fans, yeah, is how quickly, so it would be very easy as Tottenham fans. Again, this is not a shot with your recent success and whatever, yeah, to try and stick by Jose for ages, yeah. And I know a lot of clubs fans would do that, yeah. But I love that Tottenham fans from very early doors were saying, listen, if we do not see quick success, we're not willing to take this dead football. Like, we're not them guys. We're not going to sell our soul for this guy. Because, like, Tottenham, until we came in, played good football. The lane used to be bumping, right? And from early, Tottenham fans were saying, no. It's not win over everything. It's not win over our whole identity. And I do rate that massively still, because a lot of fans would have just gone, no, he's a winner. He's a winner. We got to stick with him. So
some fans were like that. But I think from my understanding, the majority of fans wanted him out. And that's a general thing. But you know what? Yeah. Getting onto the bigger topic of the last 24 hours. Listen, straight.
Thank you for saving it for me, because I want to get involved in this. I already did yesterday.
Listen, guys. What's your thoughts on it? Because yesterday I thought one way. I was against it. I was against it yesterday. Today, when I look at the bigger picture, I look at the positives. I look at the fact that everyone is kind of making these hypothetical situations in their head, and I'm leaning towards it now. Do you know what? I'm for it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things I'm not happy about, which we'll get into. But this is what I'm feeling right now. So what are you guys feeling?
So firstly, right, you man, yeah, honestly, right, you man are like a 14-year-old that's just got into an over 21's rave, yeah. You've managed to get an elder to buy you a bottle of LP Rosé. You're on the dance floor till Candy comes on, yeah. You're bussing every move to Candy and hitting every beat. And you're drawing your elder sister's Pengy's brethren and getting blowers, yeah, because you man are just living your dream, bruv. How you are there is just.
Daniel Levy, yeah. Daniel Levy went to the bouncer, Perez at the door, yeah, gave him the fake ID, and the guy said, "Come on through."
Honestly,
do you know what? Yeah, one thing I will say: credit to Daniel Levy, because how the hell has he maneuvered us to be in the top 15 clubs in the world?
There's bare European league. There's bare European teams that are just not given any sort of conversation. Yeah, and
everyone's got that one bridging that says they know the bouncer. Daniel Levy knew the bouncer.
Listen,
he knew the bouncer.
Daniel Levy was the bouncer, bruv. Like, it's mad, bruv. Absolute. But
it's mad. It's mad.
Play to him.
You see,
I don't see how any Spurs fan can be anti this. You know, I actually do, because I know you lot love your domestic football and whatever as well. But I think that's the one thing we all want, right? We still want that domestic. The one thing I need to see is that we still have domestic football. For me,
I agree.
I don't want that taken away. And I want people to be able to earn the right to play in it. They're the two things I want.
But guys, in terms of like what's going on, what's your thoughts on this whole thing? Are you for it? Are you against the Super League personally?
Bro, like I said, I'm 50-50, like Lamar, bro. Like when I first heard the news, I was feeling. I thought, like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Man said I'm Virgil.
I woke up with a bit more of a level head, and I thought, you know what, this was kind of inevitable. They've been talking about this for like 10 years, and I thought to myself, if this, I don't know where Patrick's gone.
He's not for it, bruv. He's anti.
I thought to myself, if
he's out.
He's gonna go ahead. I'd rather we was involved than not involved.
100%.
All day long, bruv. All day long.
Right? I'm hearing about all of this money. 3.5 bill. I don't know whether that's spread across the 15 founders, or I'm hearing 300 mil cash injections each year. I'm hearing all of this money, and I'm thinking, all I've been wanting in the last few years, I've been begging for us to get taken over by a rich owner.
100%.
I want to see us spend money. I want to see world class.
I want to see us compete.
And if this is what it takes, if this is the direction it's going in, big man,
sign me up.
But you want domestic football, right? You want domestic football has to be in there still, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, I've got
they
some.
ain't kicking man out of the Premier League, bro. The top six.
Nah, I can't see it. Look, you got to look at the amount. But you look at them 6 clubs, right? You take them 6 clubs out of the Premier League and forget the money that is made in this country, yeah? Because all right, there's other teams in this country, but if we're being 100 outside of England, yeah, no other countries care about any other teams apart from the top 6. You take that Premier League dead. It's dead.
No one in the world apart from England wants to watch West Brom versus Fulham. No disrespect to those clubs.
You could go higher up, bruv. You could go higher up and talk like them West Ham and Everton. Outside of England, that's not generating enough money, bruv. I'm sorry, it's not to keep the, and that would be the top game, like
100%. And do you know what? Yeah, I've got some agendas that I need to get off my chest. I've got an agenda with Gary Neville. I've got a problem with Rio Ferdinand, and I've got a problem with Sky. Yeah,
we got Rio still.
Now, bun Rio. Yeah, bun Rio Ferdinand. Don't try and jump on this high horse. Yeah, when you are working for one of the most greediest organizations in Sky, the same organization that that wanted to charge people £15 a game. Yeah.
Facts.
Listen, the only reason why Gary Neville and Sky are opening their mouths is because they're not in talks to become one of the broadcasting partners. You've got companies like Netflix, DAZN, Amazon, yeah, even Facebook. I'm hearing no one's talking about Sky, no one's talking about BT. So that's the only reason why they're now kicking a fuss. Listen, where was that energy when BT and Sky priced out Setanta Sports all them years ago? Where was that energy? I don't hear it.
I'm still wondering, where was the energy for racism, bro? This whole
thing is
massive outrage everywhere.
Hold on a minute. The government are
bigger issue of racism.
The government are trying to intervene, yeah, and they've got nothing to say for racism apart from.
Bruv, it's mad, isn't it? It's so crazy, bruv.
Making statements, and the government are trying to say they're going to get involved and stop.
No. Bruv, listen, that government statement. But that government statement was so perfectly written. It said something like, the way it is at the moment, it can't happen. Okay, cool. So 2 tweaks and it's all good to go. Like, this is what I'm saying, bruv. We're so early doors, yeah, that all these things, it's like, the Premier League will not kick the top 6 out. Can't do it, right?
They won't do it.
Secondly, FIFA don't want to see no World Cup without the top players in it. Come on. Like, all these things, they're so when it gets to the negotiation table, they don't look like pussy holes. Otherwise, they'll get taken for pussy holes.
In terms of the World Cup thing, yeah, they're trying to threaten the players, saying that if you go to this tournament, you're not going to go on the World Cup. Who the hell wants to watch a World Cup when, no disrespect, England have got flipping Nathan Redmond and Rhian Brewster up front. I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
Listen. No disrespect to these players, but who's going to watch that? Yeah, who's going to watch France without Mbappe, Pogba? Who's going to watch it? Varane.
No, that's what I'm saying. It won't happen. But there are certain things. Like obviously, I want domestic football to continue. I do believe that there needs to be a route for other teams to get in there. My only concern with that is it's going to be very difficult for these other teams to get in there if we're earning all this money and they're not. But that's something that needs to be looked at. And the other thing is, please, with all the domestic games, keep them in England, right? That's all I want. Apart from that, I'm good. And the bit that hurt me the most, I guess, what hurt me the most is City fans the City board have fed us this agenda, which I do believe that like UEFA and the top teams in Europe don't want us at that table. So that's why they've been financial fair play. All that is all aimed at us because they don't want us at that top table. And we've all bought into that, right? For them to now go and the minute a chair's been pulled out at the jump front table, like I said, first thing this morning, right? If a chick keeps cheating on you, snitches on you, right, sends you to pen, don't write you don't come out and give her a ring and jump in bed with her. Like, no. And that's what we're doing ultimately. These people don't like us, apparently.
And the thing is, Daps, yeah, I'm really against this now. Yeah, this is the part I don't like. You cannot take away the competitive nature of the top four. Yeah. These clubs do not put in a shift in, season out, to now be told that they can't be playing Champions League football. The rights are going to be taken away. What is that? What kind of message does that? I'm concerned about what kind of message does that send out to all the youth that listen, you come in the league and all you can do is win the Premier League title. There's no listen, as a young footballer, you must look at that and you must feel deflated. You must think that what if I play for one of these clubs like Tottenham and West Ham? Historically, you know, Tottenham, Everton, whoever you want to say, we challenge for top four. We work our asses off season in, season out. We don't get rewarded for it. That for me can't happen.
No. I get that. I'm rather worried.
I'd love to know how the players feel about this.
Yes, proper. I mean, they're not coming out. I guess it's hard for them to. My only other worry, is when I look at what's going on, bruv? It's just me and you now.
Me and you. I think Callum's thing has been shaking, but yeah.
But my other thing is when I look at your Liverpool owners, when I look at your Liverpool owners, your United owners, your Arsenal owners, and when I see them sat round the table, right, and I look at the picture of them man sat round the table, and when I look at the issue we have right now in the Premier League or in European football of racism, when I look at those guys there, I'm sorry, I see racism. I see they're not going to help it. They're not. Them man there, are the problem. Like, and it's not going to get better under them. That's one of my worries.
And do you know something I've noticed? I saw a tweet earlier today. One of the board members chose to come out as anonymous, but what he basically said is we're doing this for the simple purposes of revenue. And he said,
yeah, I see that.
He basically said in the nicest way possible, we don't care about fans.
Yeah.
They said, we understand there's going to be huge backlash, but we are doing this for our own benefit. I.e., we're doing this for money. We don't care about you fans. That's what they're doing. And listen, football has gone away from a sporting event, and it's become about money, and it's become a business. This is not new. They told us, Arsene Wenger warned us about this. I remember 5 years ago reading articles about this. So this is not new to me. And football, the way football's been going, I understand the recent outrage, but this has been happening for the last 15, 20 years. Where have you been? UEFA, Champions League, what do you think that's all about?
No, see, with me personally, over the last year or so, I've become quite detached from football in terms of like, even with little things like VAR. Like I don't remember the last time I really celebrated a Tottenham goal, other than I would say it was probably when we beat Arsenal at home, Son and Kane's goals. But usually with VAR, like for me, it's taking enjoyment.
Yeah, you have to wait. By the time you want to celebrate, you're like, yeah, real talk. I agree with you on that.
You look at the direction the game's heading in, and now with this European Super League, and it's you can tell it's very much about money and entertainment value.
Yes, it's all about entertainment and money.
Football. But for me personally, I was fuming with it yesterday, but I've sort of just accepted it now. You get me? Up at 20 plus years into supporting Tottenham. Like I said, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy. That I'm not really just going to throw it away now. Because
no. My only thing is,
I'll still be supporting my club. Whatever happens, I'm here.
If I'm honest with you, I said this to Jay and I had a chat earlier, and I said to him, I'll be honest with you, I've got a few things I need to know about. If they take away domestic football, I'm sorry, I'll still watch City. I'm finding a new club. I need domestic football. I need that.
I can't do the whole find the new club thing.
I tried it. I said it 2 years ago. I said when we beat Liverpool in the title race 2 years ago, I said, my heart can't take this. I'm a football fan. I'm going to hang up my City stuff and just be a neutral.
First game of
the season, I'm back a City fan. But what I'm saying, I need English. I need domestic football, man. I need domestic football massively.
But Daps, here's my biggest concern now, right? My biggest concern is the Premier League's response. You cannot punish the spine of the Premier League.
Yeah, you can't.
Listen, like Daps said, without the top six, the Premier League does not exist. And my fear is now, from what I've heard, the Premier League have threatened to remove these teams from the top six. Now, listen.
I won't do it.
Listen, hold on. Listen, when people talk about ruining football, the ball is now in the Premier League's court. If they kick us out, that is them pressing the self-destruct button, and that ruins ruins the game, right?
Listen, it's not in their. The ball is not in their court, bruv. Listen, the minute sponsors start hollowing them, kind of showing concerns, and it's already probably happened. Sponsors will be hollowing them, saying, "What are the top six really going to be kicked out? Are you really going to do that?" They'll start flaking. This is all flexing. Listen, when they walk to that table to negotiate, yeah, they want to look like they've got chest. We all know they ain't got no chest, but they want us.
Here's something. There's a specific rule in the Premier League, and I can't remember what the term is called in the rule book. But I can't remember what the term is called in the rule book, yeah? But there's a specific term that says there's an agreement where clubs are only allowed to participate in certain competitions. And that's the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, the Champions League, whatever it is. Now, this other competition, the FA or the Premier League, whatever it is, they have to either remove the teams from the Premier League or accept that new competition. Now, here's my thing, Daps. If you remove the Premier League teams, people will cancel. A lot of people will cancel Sky subscriptions. Sponsorships are going to go, right? That means broadcasting revenues are going to get cut short. That means the amount of money teams are going to make is going to go down, but the overheads and their costs are going to remain the same because they're not going to get it. So clubs are going to be swamped in more debt, and slower, it's going to have a domino effect all the way across down the league.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you.
Listen, Liverpool, right? Let me get the tweet up. Liverpool have left the ECA.
I see that. Few clubs have.
I think United have as well, isn't it?
Liverpool have quit the European Club Association, effectively no longer part of FIFA and UEFA. I've heard Tottenham have done the same thing. Now, here's my thing. These chairmans, right, are in talks with JP Morgan. JP Morgan will not come out and back anything. They will not allow the clubs to make any statements unless they are 100% sure this is going ahead. And I'll tell you why. Liverpool, if this doesn't go ahead and Liverpool have left the ECA and then all of a sudden they want to come back, it's not happening.
No.
These clubs are not stupid. They've done this knowing.
Yeah, they've been waiting. The way all the announcements started happening at the same time. This has been, but I'm telling you, it's power play. Premier League are not kicking man out. Like the Premier League, unless the Premier League actually want to retire because they can't afford to kick man out. Like globally,
there's no way their Super Sunday, their best game possible, will consist of West Ham versus Leicester.
No.
If that's the best game, everyone's watching the Super League. Let's be honest.
Yeah, real talk.
All the revenue is going to the Super League. So if that is the Premier League's best game, it's done out here. They're not kicking out the big six. Let's be real.
And another thing, this is another thing that gets me. Yeah, is another thing that will ruin is the domestic cups. We all sit here and say they're Mickey Mouse, but at the end of the day, that is an incentive.
Yeah,
that's an incentive for lower clubs to get into Europe. You win the FA Cup,
bro.
you're guaranteed
If
Europe.
they're Mickey Mouse, I'll be mini gladly, bro. Because when Sunday comes round and I watch that final, if we win that, like I said before, I'm treating it like it's the Champions League.
Of course.
But
But there's nothing better than the day out at Wembley, right? Nothing better than the day out at Wembley.
Mason Mount, Money Mace, bro. There's only one Money Mace, and that's Ryan.
And this is a good comment. This is a good comment from Sebastian. Yeah, he's saying that JP Morgan haven't backed this without the guaranteed TV rights money coming in. Those numbers on test games weren't a coincidence, and I fully agree with that. But there are clubs out there.
You know what? I said this earlier. That Amazon stuff was not. Bruv, come on, Amazon. We all know how rich Amazon are. Yeah, they weren't testing the water for no reason. Sebastian is bang on with that. Like, come on. And if Americans are involved, Amazon are going to be involved. They're going to be involved. That's why Sky's so vexed. Like,
the thing is, DAZN are apparently leading the.
Well, yeah, because DAZN basically from the boxing side, I'm quite up to it with DAZN, and obviously DAZN have stayed out of the UK, yeah, but they've been over the last year saying we're coming to the UK. Yeah. Maybe not in boxing, but we're coming to the UK. And like, if you want it, ultimately, if you want your channel to become a big sports channel in a country, you like England, you go for football. You go for football, and we know they've got money. I think Amazon have got more though.
And the thing is, listen.
Well, I know Amazon have got more.
Super League, the elite clubs week in, week out, the whole world is going to be watching. There's going to be multiple clubs lining up bids to take that on. There is not one. Listen, Liverpool will not come out and do this. Tottenham, Arsenal will not come out and do this without knowing that this is happening.
No. So look, all them announcements were too.
Ed Woodward used to work for JP Morgan. He's not stupid. They know. Listen, this has been planned for the last years. Yeah, they've known what's happening. They know the consequences. They know all the ins and outs. And listen, let's be honest, guys. The two of the most corrupt organizations in the world are FIFA and UEFA. You slip them a little check under the table, they're going to shut their mouths.
Fully.
100%. 100%. Like, bro, million percent. The World Cup being in Qatar, that speaks volumes.
And Boris Johnson, yeah. Let me just say one thing about him. The absolute spineless guy, right? Listen, the amount of tourism alone, that Super League is going to bring, he's going to be bent over backwards you will never imagine.
His whole speech was just perfect. He worded it perfectly. He basically said, as it is right now, it can't happen. Right. So as it is right now, it can't happen. So what, one little tweak and you're good to go. We've seen he changes his mind all the time. I don't want to come on here and sound like I'm all for it, yeah, because I'm certainly not all for it. But the same thing Work's taught me is you've got to embrace change, right? You got there's no point fighting it. And I mean, look, us and Chelsea are dominating. So right now, in the terms of domestic football, it's not that good for us because it puts everyone on a level playing field. But that's cool. We got lucky. We got same way you got lucky. We got lucky 10 years ago, 12 years ago. They could have picked someone else. So it is what it is. I just hope that for the lower teams, they have a way to get in there. I hope that domestic football stays here, and I hope that this doesn't mean that all football is in other countries. We need. And my other thing is, I hope that this isn't because of the pandemic and the fact stadiums may never be at full capacity again, that they're doing something that globally will get bigger TV rights. That's another concern.
But you know what? Yeah, big up the small teams in it. Like, I don't think this is the best thing for the small teams. But if I'm being very honest, right now, I deserve to be selfish, bro.
You know what? I've seen it.
All my life, we won one Carling Cup. This big cash injection.
Until 12 years ago, all we'd won was a bloody second division playoff club. So
I have seen this though, yeah.
This means we get big money every year. I will see my soul, bro. And I don't care if the first season we get slapped week in, week out in this year. If this means we get big money and we become a bigger club, I'll take it.
Bro, listen, you want to tell me that we're one of the founding clubs getting 300 million a year? Sign me up right now.
From my side,
Sign me
I
up.
had an Arsenal fan at last today admit we're a big boy. We're a big boy team. But I'm good. From that point, I was like, you know what I'm in. I've just had an Arsenal fan tell me at last that my club is a big team. Sign me the fuck up, because that's all I've been trying to do for however long. But
guys, I've seen this tweet here. Yeah, the Super League has planned a solidarity fund of about 10 billion for smaller clubs, which should be about 6 billion more than what UEFA is currently contributing.
Okay, I hadn't heard that.
So, and this is a good comment here from Sebastian. Yeah, something that it won't just ruin the cups; it ruins the Prem. The next Prem TV rights deal won't be worth anywhere near as much, even if the Big Six stay in. Why would you pay for the Prem when you can pay for Super League?
True.
It can't work without promotion and relegation. UEFA only care because they're cut out of the TV rights and therefore money. FIFA won't care if they get this 100%. But here's the thing, yeah. UEFA, these guys know what they're doing. They're not going to get into anything and remove themselves from the ESA, knowing that worst case scenario, if this doesn't go ahead, they are then banned from Europe. They can't listen. When you leave the ESA and you've ruined the relationship with UEFA, that's it.
Yeah,
there's no coming back now.
One thing I will say is
early episode sparring with the Wi-Fi.
Oh, mate,
I was going to say Patrick's completely not sure about whether he's in or out with the Super League. Yeah, he don't
even know if he's in or out with his Wi-Fi, bro.
I know the powers that be ain't letting me have a say today, man. My Sky Q's acting mad.
But then you talk and it sounds perfect, bruv.
Just a quick one. What's your thought on the Super League, bro?
It's a tricky one. At first, I was against it because I thought it was basically that was the domestic league and that was it.
Yeah,
not a domestic league. I thought that was the only thing we were gonna do. Like it'd be Man United versus Real Madrid every year and blah blah blah. But it's in conjunction. It's essentially a new Champions League, and I understand why there's a lot of frustration from your West Hams and your Newcastles and your Aston Villas and everyone else, but as a Tottenham fan, I'm for it, man. Like, why can't we dine at the big table and get a bit more change? And if we're being honest, yes, Tottenham as a club hasn't won the trophies of the other big clubs, but we are considered a big club. We are one of the bigger players. We are one of the teams that people tune in to watch. We do have a global fan base. So I can understand why we are there as well. And even if you look at our UEFA points, over the years, you've always played in Europe, whether it be Champions League.
But this is a dirty South
or your
chopped spoon. His Wi-Fi. He's sounding like R2D2 right now.
Trust me, that is a Paul Wall version.
But this is the thing from Sebastian. Yeah, we can't be blamed for signing up. There's too much to gain.
No, you can't.
And hats off to Levy, because I remember 2 years ago when this was being proposed, we were not one of the clubs on this list, you know. We weren't one of these clubs. And I remember reading it in my head. I was thinking, if this goes ahead, this is going to be terrible. But I forgot about it because I thought there's no way this can happen. But now it's come to the forefront of our eyes and we're seeing this. And we're seeing the backlash. I'm just glad we're being spoken.
Yeah, fully. You have to be. This is the thing. The other thing that's making me laugh is I'm seeing one or two fans of like teams that aren't in it on social media saying, "Yep, I'm glad that my team's taking the moral high ground." It's like, you're invited. Like, you can get no invite through your door.
Listen, you're hating from outside the club because you can't get in. If your club, if your club was invited, you would be there twerking in the league. PSG,
man can't get in. I'm there like, fuck this club.
Do you know what? Yeah, I've got a bone.
You want to come in anyway, dickhead.
Yeah. Bouncers told man, listen, not tonight, mate, not tonight.
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with Ander Herrera. Yeah, this guy's coming out saying, "I'm proud of my club. We're against this," and they're talking, and he's all talking about like, "I've always believed in fair game." My bro, you play for Oil Money FC, Paris Saint-Germain. Don't come here and talk about fair game. And I got another bone to pick with Michael Richards. Yeah, and Daps, please don't take this in offensive way. Michael Richards was talking
about, take offense, you know.
Michael Richards just sat there on Sky Sports spouting this nonsense about fair game. Where was that same energy? And I keep using this. Where's the same energy when your club came into dominance the way it did, spending the way it did? Was that fair? It wasn't fair. Let's be honest. It's not fair on all the other clubs, but it happened. But you weren't complaining then. And why weren't you complaining then? Because your pockets were getting fed. And this is my point, Daps. All these people complaining, when you're in the club and your pockets are getting fed, your mouth is shut.
Yeah, of course. I think no, for me personally, I'll be 100, yeah? Like, we all know it's Sky News as it is, yeah? Sky News, I will not watch Sky News, right? Sky News is dead. Like, I blame Sky News for people's mental health more than I blame the government through this pandemic, yeah? Because they've been effing with everyone this whole pandemic, right? They've been deciding what the government do by pressuring them and then putting up things that aren't true. So I hate Sky, right? So anyone that's watching things on Sky, a company that can't get the rights to this and taking anything they say seriously, and that goes for, I hate to say it, I love Micah. I absolutely love Micah Richards. But you can't take anyone that is on. What's he going to do? Come out and talk all for it when he's sitting on? They pay his wages, bruv. Like, he's not going to say. And City paid his wages, so you can't. You have to. But I just keep saying to everyone, let's chill out for a bit and just see what this actually looks like. Not well, because you got to remember, City apparently were going to be banned from the Champions League. A year and a half later, were we? No, because you have to wait for things to unfold. So,
like I said, where was this energy when you made man pay £15 for Spurs versus West Brom?
Where was that energy? Where was the talk about fair game? Where was the talk about
the Super League approached Sky Sports and they said, listen, we want you lot to play all the games. We want you lot to stream all the games. Gary Neville, you think Gary Neville will be talking?
Gary Neville will be in there trying to get a deal for Salford, bruv. That's what he'd be doing.
Gary Neville talking up the Super League.
Gary Neville and his billionaire partner that have taken over Salford,
the Singapore
are doing the exact same thing. They are preaching about fair game. All the other clubs in that league are thinking there's a billionaire owner and a multi-million-pound ex-footballer coming, and they're doing the exact same thing that the Chelsea were doing in the Premier League.
You see why Gary Neville
don't come on here and talk about it's ruining the game. Like, oh, get off your high horse.
Listen. You see Gary Neville, yeah, and you see how he goes against Man United, yeah.
Shut up, man.
That is because, yeah, they have conflict over his hotel that's right outside Man United's ground. That's why, because him and the Singapore Don, that he partnered himself up very cleverly from. They did a tour of Singapore many years ago, and he happened to stay in contact with this Don, and this guy just funds whatever Gary Neville wants to do. That's why he's so big towards United.
Think of this, yeah. He said clearly that I've been quiet on the Glazers for a long time. Why have you been quiet? I'll tell you why. Because they're spending hundreds of millions in your club, and you're not going to say shit. All of a sudden now, when it's benefiting clubs that you don't care about, i.e. you're trying to belittle Tottenham and Arsenal, now that it's giving them the power, now you want to talk up. Now you want to talk up about your owners, but you weren't talking up when they're spending 80 million on Maguire. Where was the energy then? I don't want to hear this guy talk any nonsense because he's a hypocrite.
I see Jamie Carragher bigging up Leeds for wearing the Champions League shirt saying, big man, I've seen the T-shirts you was wearing. I don't care how many years ago it was. Back in Suarez with your T-shirts. I don't care about your T-shirts, big man. I know
that guy, yeah. He spat at a kid and he's still on TV. I'm speaking that guy in his club and anything. I don't even want to talk about that guy in his club because I've got no time for them.
It's almost irrelevant, but at some point we've got to preview Spurs versus Southampton.
Yeah, just before we touch on that, yeah, I want to say something, and I want to say Thomas Tuchel said it brilliantly.
Sensational
wording.
Yeah,
Thomas Tuchel. What he said is he basically said he likes the idea or the fact that they could be potentially competing against the best teams week in week out. That's what we all want to see, but there's a lot of ins and outs. There's a lot of hypotheticals people are speaking about. Nothing is concrete yet, so let's just wait and then talk on it.
You know what?
this whole thing about Sky doing all this. Listen, Sky, for the first time ever, have made Monday Night Football free to everyone. What does that tell you? They want to run these narratives in the mainstream media. All of a sudden, they want to make it free because they are not involved. That's why.
That's mad, bro. That's so. Anyone falling for that is just thick. But you know what? The same thing Tuchel did is the same thing Pep did with the European ban. I'm a coach. I trust my club that nothing has, and until it's all dealt with, I'm not going to comment on it because I'm here as a coach. So let me get on with coaching and not talk about that.
That's what I'm saying. Regardless of my opinions on the Super League, because like I say, we don't have all the information yet, so I can't sit here and say I'm 100% for, 100% against.
And we don't know. Like people are saying,
compromise what will be somewhere in the middle. But what I'm saying is, I'm not listening to what Sky have to say because, the only reason they're spouting so much negativity about this is because they're not involved. And if they were involved, they'd be promoting it. So
bro. They will be saying this is going to change. They will be talking the absolute maddest crud, about this. But listen, let's move on now. Obviously, we've got Southampton. Listen, I need a manager bounce immediately.
Ryan Mason. You know what? I'm interested to see what lineup he puts out. I'm very interested to see. I feel
you know what? Don't be surprised if people like Dele Alli come back into the fold.
Bro, he's either going to go down the line of playing our best 11, or he's going to play the guys that he's friends with, which is what I don't want to see.
But hold on, you're meaning Southampton?
I grew up with Winks. I rate Dele, and I can see him playing them, man. If that's the case, maybe.
But nah, not against Southampton. You've got you know what? Southampton is like, you see that payday, the first payday after you've got your bonus, and you can't really work out, and your pay rise, and you can't really work out what your pay rise is because the bonus is in there. That's what Southampton for you, man. You can't look at how he's going to act because you got the Carabao Cup on Sunday. So, like, whatever he does, he can't tell you nothing. Because
you're right. Still, Sunday's the
Carabao Cup. You need to what he's going to do in the Carabao Cup will tell you a lot.
Yeah, this is another one though. Will Winks start because he's pally with Ryan Mason?
That's what I'm saying. Winks can start against Southampton as long as he's not in the squad against Man City.
Yeah, do you know what?
He can be in the squad against us. I'm not.
Do you know what? That's to be honest, Were you more comfortable going into that game with Jose Mourinho as manager or with a new manager bounce?
Nah, with Jose there.
You'd be more confident.
Not me.
Actually, nah, you know what? Cup final, no, I disagree. Cup final, I'm probably a bit more confident now because whoever's managing you in 1-0. Whereas with Jose, it was someone that does know how to win and he knows how to play against Pep. Maybe, I mean, all right, we look at the 2-3, we look at the games this season. You've got it right, one of them. So
I feel like I disagree personally. I feel like if anything, this is going to wake the players up. They're going to think, you know what, Jose's not here telling us to do X, Y, and Z. They're going to think, so 1-0 final, we need to win this trophy. I don't feel like Mason's going to come in here with a bag of different tactics. If he was to, obviously we don't know what type of manager he is. He's never managed the Premier League.
Do you know what? The only bit of hope I can give us is I've seen our under-18s play 3 times this season, on YouTube. One was against Chelsea. We absolutely batted them off the park. The other one was AFC Wimbledon. Who's the other one against now? It was Man United. We actually played better than the first team. Much better. Fluidity, passing, moving, defending, cohesion in the team. Alfie Devine playing out of his skin. Dane Scarlett. Listen.
Bro, I just feel like
it gives me a little bit of hope in it that we can end the season on a high. That's all I want us to do. I want to end the season as strong as possible, right? All these people, all these Arsenal fans saying, we don't care about the league anymore. That's not me. I care about the league. I want us to finish as strong as possible. Yeah. And listen, going into the summer, just go and get Nagelsmann and just get it, right? I don't want to hear any of this stuff about Eddie Howe. Just go and get Nagelsmann because...
But isn't he being linked elsewhere now?
No, he's second favourite to come Spurs.
Who?
Eddie Howe, according to
Eddie Howe. No. I mean, in Nagelsmann, isn't he being linked elsewhere? I swear I saw him being.
I've heard that Nagelsmann are not willing to let. Leipzig are not willing to let Nagelsmann go to strengthen a direct rival. They would rather him go to Tottenham. Like Leipzig, they're getting to a stage now where they're competing, right? They're competing for the Bundesliga. So why do they want to give their best players and their best manager?
Yeah.
Nah. But Leipzig, listen, if multiple clubs come in for Nagelsmann, like they are, you got Bayern and Tottenham, they will much rather say we'll deal with Tottenham. Because at the end of the day, I've read that there has to be a compensation fee paid to Leipzig for Nagelsmann. So they'd much rather accept it from Tottenham.
Yeah.
Nagelsmann, I don't think he's going to complain about going to Tottenham. I get he would rather go to Munich. Of course you would, because you're managing world-class players in a decent budget. But now with this Super League, I'll go. If I was him, I'd go anywhere. Go live in London. That's me. I'm done. Sign me up. Thank you very much.
Just to wrap up my point on the final, it's clear to see that there's so many players that weren't playing for Mourinho anymore. All I can do is hope that, not necessarily that they're playing for Mason, but they're playing for themselves now. They know what's at stake, a final. Like I said, this club ain't won a trophy for, 12 odd years or so.
Go out there and do it for the fans. Don't just do it for the fans. Do it for yourself. Go out there and have some cojones. Go out there and show that you know you're competitive. This is what football is all about. Moments like this. Yeah. I look at the way we performed in the Champions League final, and I was disgusted that. Forget who the manager is. As a man, a grown man, you come out and perform like that in the biggest game of your life. It's an absolute disgrace. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I don't want to see that in the Carabao Cup final.
But if we're talking,
I'm hearing that you man ain't sold your 2,000 allocated ticket shit. What's going on?
Don't know nothing about that, bruv. Don't know anything. Right now, you lot are in a good position to play us. Like right now is great timing because I said it yesterday. If we have to, so we have Villa on Wednesday, right? We can't lose that game. We cannot lose that game because we lose that game, we are letting Manchester United into the title race massively. Right? We have to win that game, especially after the bounce back of the Chelsea. We have to win that game, right? Then we've got you. And then 3 days later, we've got the Champions League. So if we're prioritising, for me, the first priority, for me personally, is the league, right?
100%. You want to get that wrapped up as soon as possible.
Second is, and more than wrapping it up, Ash, if we lose the league from the position we were in, then forget the Champions League. That is worrying, right? So then we've got you. Then we have PSG. So at some point, and our players look pretty burnt out at the moment, right? So at some point, we have to rest some players, right? I'm worried. We're resting players against you. We are. We're resting players, And the problem is the players that we are bringing in, it showed against Chelsea, their confidence is lower than Arsenal's league position, right? So I worry. I pray that Kane... I don't. Because if Kane plays, I worry even more. Put it that way.
Listen, I'm worried that we've not had any update on Kane. Someone needs...
Yeah, we haven't. I haven't heard nothing.
We haven't done De Bruyne as well. We haven't done De Bruyne neither.
But like I said to the group, I reckon Kane will play, but he'll play injured. He'll play women.
He wasn't in training yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I did see that.
Yesterday, one of the days, he wasn't in training. So
really, how much training does Kane need? Really?
Yeah, no, Kane's the type of player, regardless of his injury, he knows it's a final. I know it's only the Carabao, and some people will look down on that cup. Kane will make sure he's playing that game.
I think so.
Kane will play that game with one leg if he has to.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
If he plays injured, it will most likely be a detriment to the team, if we're being honest.
Yeah. But for me, it's unfortunate that it almost felt like the FA Cup semi-final was the first time I've seen it almost look like Pep didn't really care. Generally, he wanted to win everything. I'm not saying he didn't want to win it, but why?
We've got bigger fish to fry.
Why was Mahrez not utilised? Why was Bernardo Silva not utilised? Players that are vital to us, why were they not used? Even on the 70th minute, why were they not brought on? I don't understand it.
You man losing that game worried me though, because for me, the Premier League is all but wrapped up. I reckon you man will win that.
It's not, you know, it's not.
No, listen, I believe you man will win it. Yeah.
Listen, you believe that, but Pep doesn't think it's wrapped up.
Okay. But that there is, in terms of, it's the closest one to them. With the Champions League, you might have not won the Champions League yet. That should be your main focus in a way. I feel like because you got knocked out of the FA Cup, Pep's thinking, I better win that Carabao. Even more so because you got knocked out of the FA Cup.
Not in between them. It's hard. And the problem is that now De Bruyne's injured. There's no resting Gundogan. Gundogan has to play.
That's good. De Bruyne will be out for the final. He'll be out for the final.
I think De Bruyne's out, so he's definitely been ruled out against Villa. But they said currently still too swollen to scan.
Okay, so that's a big problem for you, man.
I think De Bruyne could be out for a minute, bruv. Like generally De Bruyne, when he gets injuries, usually he's out for minimum a month. Like that's the end of our season.
Listen, I don't, even though it might benefit us, I don't wish that on no one because
this season.
Not especially Kevin, man. I got love for Kevin.
I got big respect for Kevin De Bruyne.
Big respect for Kevin De Bruyne, man. But do you know what? Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. And just to kind of sort of summarize, obviously, kind of happy Jose's gone, but at the same time,
very happy.
At the same time, there's bigger problems at this club that need addressing. Yeah. And just, you know,
come on, Ash, be happy. You've got what you wanted.
Listen, don't
get Doherty with him, bruv. Would that help?
Don't get it twisted. I was running around my house, enjoyed that he got sacked, yeah. But I do understand that there's still other fundamental issues that this problem that we're solving. And then just quickly going on the Super League. Listen, I think most of us are in the same boat here. We're for it, but we do not agree that we just don't agree that clubs can enter this competition based on size and based on size of your club and revenue. I don't agree with that. The game should be like the Champions League. So that's the bit I don't agree with. And yeah, listen, let's just hope for a positive managerial bounce, win against Southampton, and I think that will put us in a good position for is it Saturday or Sunday?
It's Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday. That will put us in a good position for Sunday. But guys, thanks again for tuning in.
Thanks for having me, and keep up the good work.
Take care,
guys.
If you haven't, please like, comment, and subscribe to Never Foul YouTube channel. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there. But guys, listen, we'll be back. We're gonna be back after the final. We're gonna be back after the final. This is it. You ain't gonna hear from us till the final. This is it.
I follow Patrick. I know Patrick's been in and out.
Yeah, follow Views TV official as well. 100%.
Views TV. Subscribe to them lot. Great podcast.
Yep,
yeah. And you know, it's always good to have these content creators and because big up Joe, big up Tanya, big up Sebastian as well. And you know, it's always good to collaborate with these guys. So yeah, guys, follow Patrick.
100%.
We're going to be collaborating with loads more people in the future. But yeah, guys, listen. Let's just hope for a big bounce back now with a new manager, and we'll see you on Monday. And touch wood, we can come here,
winners, bro, winners.
Celebrating a trophy. But guys, let's take care. Good night, and come on, you Spurs. Take care, guys. Take care.